Even though Ender's Game is set in the future with aliens and advanced technology, it is not to be confused with other science fiction novels. Orson Scott Card has revealed his true writing potential in this novel. Ender's Game follows the story of a brilliant young child named Andrew Wiggin, also named Ender. The military needs a commander who can command their fleets to defeat the buggers, an advanced life form who have almost wiped the humans off the map, and Ender is just a guy for the job. The novel takes us through his life, his downfalls, and uprisings. It touches on compassion, ruthlessness, humanity, and the relationship between children and adults. Whenever. Ender, who is just 6 years old, is monitored closely to see if he qualifies to go to battle school. The monitor on his body is being watched by the International Fleet. A few bullies, led by Stilson, corner him after school. Ender, being witty as he is, convinces Stilson to stop the fight to fight him one-on-one. Ender beats him so badly, but by the bus stop he breaks down, starting to cry. He feels so much like his ruthless brother, Peter. At home, Peter makes Ender play buggers and astronauts. Ender is, of course, the bugger. Peter is threatening to kill Ender when Valentine appears at the doorway. And now Peter threatens to kill them both. Later that night, Peter leans over Ender and tells him that he loves him. The next day, Colonel Graff comes to the Wiggins' home. He asks Ender why he beat up Stilson, and after hearing Ender's answer, they offer him a place at battle school, a training facility in space made for children to become commanders of the International Fleet. After some time, Ender reluctantly goes. On his way to battle school, Graff singles out Ender by telling everyone on board that Ender is by far better than all of them. This earns Ender plenty of enemies from the go-get. When Bernard hits him on the head, Ender grabs him and sends him flying, breaking his arm. During the following weeks, Ender and his classmates go through hours of training per day. When Bernard starts to get a gang of people, Ender starts to make friends, his first being Shen. When Bernard makes fun of Shen in his butt, Ender sends around a message making fun of Bernard for watching people's butts. In the battle room, wars are simulated. Ender and Allie become friends here, learning how to fly and use their pistols. Apart from their time in the battle room, Ender plays a mind game. Ender beats a giant's drink section of the game and goes where no one has ever gone before, Fairyland. In Fairyland, he arrives at a castle where there is a mirror. In the mirror, he sees not his own reflection, but Peter's. Ender is promoted to Salamander Army. He uses his time to observe strategies and learn technique. He is befriended by Petra, the one girl in the army. She teaches Ender during free time. He learns a lot from her. He also practices during the evening with his launch friends. Before he is traded, he disobeys Bonzo's orders and frees his enemies. Ender is soon traded to Rat Army under Rose DeNose. Ender's brother and sister enter the internet. Peter is thirsty for world domination. He influences the world by writing his opinions. Along the journey, he convinces Valentine to join him. If Peter plays his cards out right, he will be able to gain respect and power after the impending victory against the buggers. Ender is very successful, but very fatigued from his training. He also fears he is turning into Peter. Colonel Graff persuades Valentine to assure Ender is nothing like Peter, which comforts him. He breaks free of these conscious chains and excels in the fantasy game and in his training. Ender is finally made commander of Dragon Army, which has been made to give Ender a challenge. Composed of many launchies and very little experienced other people. Against all odds, he molds a very successful army, winning game after game. When Ender beats his former army commando, Bonzo, Bonzo is furious. Ender's friends warn him to be very careful. Ender notices that the teachers are ever stacking the odds against Ender. This drives him harder to win. Shortly afterward, when Ender is in the shower, Bonzo and his friends walk in. Ender provokes Bonzo to fight 1v1 to preserve his honor. Ender beats Bonzo so badly he dies, but Ender does not know. After fighting two armies at one time and winning, Ender is transferred to command school. On Eros, Ender has a one-on-one teacher, Mazer Rackham. He defeated the buggers in the second invasion and is famous for it. He has an enormous expanse of knowledge and wisdom. Him and Ender watch videos from the first invasion to learn strategy. Mazier points out that the buggers act almost instantaneously on the command of the Queen. Ender learns that the final battle will be held at the Bugger World. The fleet possesses one new weapon, the Little Doctor. In the simulator, he is greeted by his fellow friends from battle school. The final battle is held months later with many VIP spectators. His final battle starts, and Ender realizes that he is outnumbered at least 1,000 to 1. With the odds stacked against him, he orders his ships to go for the planet. When the fleet is close enough to the planet, they launch the Little Doctor at it. None of their fighter planes survive when the planet is blown to smithereens. Everyone around Ender starts cheering, praying, crying, and thanking Ender. Ender was furious to find out that this was not a simulation, but the actual third invasion, yet another trick. On Earth, the victory with the buggers leads to a huge war, the Americans versus Russians. The war strikes everywhere, including Eros. Eventually, a deal is struck under the Locke proposal, most likely Peter's idea. 1 year later, Ender is still on Eros preparing for the colonization movement to the freshly destroyed bugger planet. Searching for a place to live on the planet, Ender recognizes a place around that is the giant's corpse from the fantasy game. Surprised at this, he searches for a tower that he visits in the game. He finds a tower in the real world and pulls a mirror off the wall, and finds a queen bugger that has not hatched. Ender realizes that the buggers were just like him. They did not mean to murder, and when they realized, they never came again. Hoping they could live amongst each other in peace, Ender publishes a book on this and signs it Speaker for the Dead. This launches a new religion. People everywhere are now having speakers at funerals. Peter recognizes the writer as Ender, and Peter asks Ender to speak for him at his funeral. Ender sets out on a journey to find a suitable place for the buggers to colonize. He looks for a very long time and in many places. This is where the book ends. But my review of it is very good, because if you're looking for a good book for your summer read, you should read this book. Orson Scott Card constructed this book to engage the readers, in which it did. He created a blend of meaningful, exciting, and unpredictable material to form this amazing novel. Throughout, I was reminded how much the novel related to our world. If a thrilling book full of twists and turns is your cup of tea, pick this one up today.